Have you ever taken a photo and found something unsettling in the background? Something that shouldn't be there? This is the story of Ethan Cole and the picture that marked his end. Ethan was an amateur photographer, the kind of guy who saw the world through a lens. His passion was capturing the raw beauty of nature, which is why no one was surprised when he decided to go on a solo hike through the dense, ancient woods of Blackwood Forest. He promised to send back stunning shots. He sent back one, and then he vanished. The search party found his backpack a week later, snagged on a thorny bush just off the main trail. His wallet, his keys, his water bottle, all there. So was his phone. When they powered it on, they found only one new photo in his gallery, taken the day he disappeared. At first glance, it looked like a standard selfie, Ethan grinning tiredly at the camera, the deep woods sprawling behind him. But as investigators zoomed in, a cold dread began to creep into the room. Lurking in the shadows between the trees was a figure. It was unnaturally tall, its limbs long and thin like stretched branches. It had no face, just a smooth, blank surface where features should have been. The lighting was all wrong too. While the sun dappled the forest floor around it, the figure seemed to absorb the light, creating an impossible pocket of darkness. It was a glitch in reality, standing silently, watching. This discovery sent a shiver down the spine of everyone on the case, but for Ethan's best friend, Jordan, it was a confirmation of a terrifying secret. Just a few days before his hike, Ethan had shown Jordan a series of bizarre photos he'd found on his camera roll. "I swear I didn't take these," Ethan had said, his voice trembling slightly. The photos were of the same forest, but from strange, disorienting angles. In the corner of each one, partially obscured by leaves or shadows, was a blurry shape. A tall, dark figure that seemed to get a little closer, a little clearer with every shot. Jordan had brushed it off as a camera malfunction, a trick of the light. Now, staring at Ethan's final, horrifying selfie, he knew it was something else entirely. He looked closer, his heart pounding in his chest. That's when he saw it. Reflected in the dark lens of Ethan's sunglasses was not just the forest, but a hand. A pale, slender hand with long, grey fingers gripping Ethan's shoulder tightly. Ethan wasn't smiling at the camera. His eyes were wide with terror, his grin a frozen mask of fear. He wasn't taking a selfie. Something was taking the photo for him. The police were baffled. They had no leads, no suspects, no body. The forest had simply swallowed Ethan Cole whole. Jordan, however, couldn't let it go. He became obsessed, spending his days poring over local folklore and his nights scanning online forums for similar disappearances. He learned that Blackwood Forest had a dark legend attached to it, a ghost story whispered by locals to scare tourists away from the deeper trails. They called it the Echo. The legend spoke of an entity that haunted the woods, a spirit drawn to the solitary and the lost. It didn't hunt with teeth or claws, it hunted with a camera. The Echo, the story went, would stalk its victims, capturing their image, stealing their soul at the precise moment of their greatest fear. The photograph was a snapshot of their final, terrifying second of existence, their essence frozen in time, forever trapped within the image. The body was never found because, according to the legend, there was nothing left to find. You became the photograph. Jordan dismissed it as a campfire story, yet the parallels to Ethan's fate were too chilling to ignore. A week after the phone was found, Jordan was sitting in a coffee shop, trying to distract himself when his phone buzzed. An airdrop notification. Ethan's iPhone would like to share a photo. Jordan's blood ran cold. He hesitated, his thumb hovering over the accept button. Curiosity, mingled with a desperate hope that this was some sick prank, won out. He tapped the screen. The image that loaded was a close-up, a face contorted in pure, undiluted horror, eyes stretched wide, mouth open in a silent scream. It took him a second to recognize the face as his own. The photo was taken from an impossible angle, from just inches away, as if the photographer was standing right in front of him. But he was alone at his table. He looked up, frantically scanning the coffee shop. No one. He looked back at the photo, and in the reflection of his own terrified eyes, he saw it. A tall, faceless figure, its blank head tilted as if admiring its work. Then his phone went dark. Jordan was never seen again. The disappearance of two friends, just weeks apart, sparked a media frenzy. The story of the Shutterman, as the press dubbed the entity, went viral. The final photos of Ethan and Jordan were plastered everywhere, analyzed by experts and internet sleuths alike. But the trail went cold as quickly as it had appeared. The case became another unsolved mystery, a modern ghost story for the digital age. Months turned into a year. The world moved on. But for Mia, another friend from their close-knit group, the horror was far from over. She had tried to put it all behind her, to mourn her friends and live her life. One evening, she came home from work to find a plain manila envelope slid under her door. There was no stamp, no address. Her name was written on the front in a jagged, spidery script. With trembling hands, she tore it open. A single photograph fell out. It wasn't a digital image on a screen. It was a physical print, thick and glossy, the kind of instant photo Ethan used to love taking. The image was of her, sleeping in her own bed. The photo was taken from the foot of her bed, the photographer standing in the shadows of her room. The timestamp in the corner read 3:33 a.m. from the night before. As she stared, frozen in disbelief, she noticed the distinctive white border of the print. It was the same type of instant film Ethan had used. The police found nothing, no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, nothing out of place. Except for Mia, who had packed a bag and fled, leaving only a note that said, "It knows my name. It knows where I live." The case of the Blackwood disappearances remains officially unsolved. But every year, around the anniversary of Ethan's vanishing, a new photo appears. It pops up on obscure social media accounts, shared from anonymous profiles. Each one is a selfie of a lone hiker in a dark forest, a look of abject terror on their face. And in the background of every single one, the tall, faceless figure stands, a silent observer. The caption is always the same. 3 simple, chilling words. Smile. You're next. Thank you for watching. If you have any unsettling stories or unexplained photos of your own, share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into the unknown. Stay safe out there, and maybe think twice before taking a selfie in the woods. You never know who or what might be posing with you.